If you're reluctant to speak up at business meetings, guess what? It just means you're normal. After all, speaking up at a business meeting, bosses there, other people there, people looking at you, it's a type of public speaking. And all the polls show that public speaking is the #1 fear most people have. Now, let's some caveats here. People don't fear it more than jumping out of a plane without a parachute. If you gave them a choice, give it toast or jump out of this plane. But public speaking is something that does make people uncomfortable, and it is something they do have to face on a, if not daily, at least occasional basis. Jumping out of airplanes without parachutes isn't something most of us have to face. Why is it that we fear public speaking? Well, evolutionary biologists believe that human beings, as animals, are programmed to fear public speaking because it's a way of being separated from the pack, separated from the herd. That means you're vulnerable to attack. So there are reasons for fearing being separated from everyone else in the audience, but that doesn't mean you have to let that fear cripple you and potentially hold back your career. Because that's the real problem. Managers, when they're in meetings, are often, whether they realize it or not, making judgments about all employees, all the people present, as far as their intelligence, their leadership capability, their short-term potential, and their long-term potential. And if other people are putting forth good ideas, asking insightful questions, giving comments that are furthering the discussion, and you're just sitting there, it minimizes your impact. You're simply not making an impression on people who could have a definitive impact on your career. And that's why it's important to learn how to speak up at business meetings. You don't have to grandstand and give a big speech and hog all the limelight every time, but if there's an insight in your brain that you think others might want to know, a question you have that others might have, you need to have the confidence in knowing you can express it right away. Don't hold it back. There's nothing worse than having a meeting, having a great idea, thinking, let me just kind of wait and hold. I'll talk to the boss after the meeting. I don't really want to say. And then someone at the end of the meeting brings up your idea, and that person gets all the credit. That person is seen as a leader. You're seen as a follower, someone who should be seen behind the scenes. That's not good. Now, it's up to you to decide where you want to end your career and what position you want. You don't need me for that. But what I'm here to do is to give you the tools you need, the skills you need, so that you can speak up in meetings anytime you want. It doesn't mean you have to quit your job and become the next Anthony Robbins on a motivational speaking tour. It just means that you can speak up anytime you want without this sort of nagging, fear may be too strong of a word, but anxiety that keeps you from speaking up. I want to help you get over that so that you know how you sound your best, look your best, come across comfortable and confident, and people can simply understand you. And you don't have to worry about, am I going to sound stupid, or is this weird, or it's not my place. None of that stuff. And I don't care how shy you were. As a kid, I was incredibly shy. I never said anything. And I make my career, I make my living speaking now. So it doesn't matter about so-called natural ability. Nobody's a natural-born speaker. If you have an idea in your head and you've ever had a conversation with one person once in your entire life, you already have all the skills you need to speak up at any meeting at any time. It doesn't matter if it's a meeting with 2 people, 200, or 2,000.